Yeah.
on that. So, you recently joined our program, I think maybe about a little bit a month ago, could maybe a little longer.
Yeah, probably beginning of August.
Can you share like some of the experiences you've had since being on the program, like what your goals are and how it's been so far?
So far I've really enjoyed it. Since I was looking for just like a really focused workout that wasn't going to take up most of my day, I think it's been really helpful. And I also have come to find that it's like a much more functional workout than what I'm used to. So I've noticed like little things that have improved that I wasn't necessarily looking for, but happy that it has helped me with it.
That's interesting. What is that?
Like, even like I was telling you about, my grip strength has improved, or like my core has improved.
Yeah,
Um,
it has.
necessarily just from, yeah, not necessarily just from like the core workout aspects, but just like the exercises in general. I can just tell overall. Those are two aspects that have improved that I wasn't necessarily like, oh, I need my grip strength to improve, but it's always been something I have struggled with. So I'm happy that did happen for me. Um, those are just like two specifics I've noticed.
Yeah. Can you describe maybe what your goal was before you first started? Outside of you had mentioned like not having a workout that takes up all your time because I think what you said in the past, like you were on a program that was like so strict, required you to spend hours in the gym, track all your macros. It was like a full-time job trying to just be healthy and work out. And this has been a totally different shift.
Yeah, so my goal was to still have like a very focused and effective workout, um, and enjoyable, without having to like be so, and I don't want to use the word committed, but so like hyper focused on little things like making sure my form was exactly right, or like that rep didn't count, or just like having to push myself in ways that was, I don't know how to describe it, but make it like if I were to complete a set and it would be like, oh no, you could have done three more reps. Whereas with your workouts, I'm like, you already have the mindset, like, oh, this is what I have to do in this amount of time. And you like keep the workouts moving. Whereas before it was like, just get as many sets as you can and have perfect form.
Mm.
So that's been an adjustment too. Because I am used to like slower workouts where I just go to failure. But with your workouts, it's like keeping the pace throughout the whole workout with the time sets. And I like the focus of that.
Yeah, cool. I know that, yeah, the word committed isn't the right word, but it was like you had described, it was almost like a full-time job. And it was adding exercise became more stressful than it was like enjoyment. And and from what I hear, you're still able to see the results that you're trying to achieve, getting stronger, building more muscle, getting lean.
Yeah, for sure. It was a full-time job. I would have to like spend all day just like making sure I ate the right thing an hour and a half before my workout, worked out 2-ish to 3 hours, then ate the right thing like right after. It was like a 6 hour process that was just like too much of a too much of a commitment for someone that this is just like a lifestyle thing. So having more focused, like shorter workouts that are more effective, has been helpful.
Yeah, just for perspective, you were working out for 2 or 3 hours. And how long are you working out now?
Um, the workout itself probably takes an hour ish. And then, like, if I do stretching and mobility and time to kill, then it's probably like an hour 20 or so.
That's got to feel pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, this is great. Now I usually like still kind of have the mindset like, okay, I still
Just
need.
getting warmed up. I'm on the first hour.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I still have to set aside like 3 hours, and then I'm done in an hour and a half max, maybe. And I'm
Wow.
like, great. So that's been good. And I can tell I've had to, it's harder work. I know a couple times I've texted Lex and I'm like, I think that's like, when I first started, I was like, I feel like that's actually the first time I've worked out in years because, like, my heart rate was up, like,
Mm,
I was, like, sweating, like, I could tell I was, like, working hard
mm.
as opposed to, like, the slower movements that had to be perfect.
Yeah, like your training, you know? Yeah, it's awesome. How has your, like, mindset shifted since you've had, like, again, not as much of a commitment, but this super rigid, call it a 6-hour process, and now things are like, have you gotten some fulfillment back of like, "Oh, I'm getting a great workout in less time, and I'm still able to hit my results and feel the way that I want to?" Like, what's that done with your mindset?
Yeah, it's actually so much more fulfilling because with, like, the other program, um, that's all I could do in a day was just, like,
Well,
on days off, all I did was work out and eat pretty much. And, so now that I'm like, wow, I've got a really effective workout in, I feel really good. And then I still have time to fill the cup for other aspects of my life.
that's
Uh,
all.
that's like been really helpful for my mindset and like it's been really enjoyable actually because I'm like, oh wow, I have time to like watch a show or I can like put extra time into doing the mobility or doing the stretch classes that you do like in the evening because I'm not so turned off to just being so focused on the gym and eating.
Yeah, that's so interesting because, like, that level of dedication, how long did you do that for? Because that's, like,
Yeah,
really rigid, and you're obviously are willing to do whatever it takes, and you've now learned that you could do less, but still you obviously learned a lot and took a lot of those principles from that, but it was adding more stress than it was fulfillment.
yeah, I did it initially for like a year and a half and like I learned so much and like I did see really good results, but that was like the only aspect of my life I was fulfilling was like
Yeah.
going to the gym and I guess how I looked, which
Mhm.
isn't the most important thing. So that was like I did it for like a year and a half and then I stopped and then I was kind of in a place where I was like, I feel like I'm just going to the gym and just doing whatever I think is fun for me that day,
Mm.
which is always just shoulders or glutes because that's what I love to do most. And so I tried to work with him again, and it just like we were kind of just clashing because I was like, this is way too much for someone like.
Expectations.
And then that's when I found you, where I could just like kind of like get the best of both worlds, and it's much more effective for a lifestyle client athlete than anything else.
Is that what you say is, like, the biggest standout compared to other programs that you've tried? Is just be able to do less work and it's less stressful because it's a lot more manageable?
Yeah, for sure. Um, and it's like you're a great resource, and we like I can come to you for anything and like ask my crazy questions and the nonsense that I've asked you, but it's not. I don't have to constantly be in communication with you or like it's there when I need it, but I don't have to always be in communication of my day by day.
Yeah, you're disciplined enough, and that's something that we talked about in the beginning, like, did you wanna have approach where you're able to follow it on your own and be able to reach out for support, or did you
Mhm.
wanna have a more hands-on and you're disciplined enough, and and having more freedom actually has done more for you because you have more freedom, it's kind of, disassociated all those super high expectations, and now you're able to have more fulfillment by doing it on your own.
Right. Yeah, it has made me more motivated because like I look forward to the work. I know then afterwards I or that day I can do whatever I want because I have more time and I know I had a good workout still.
What's been something that has been, like, unexpected that since you've joined the program?
Um, Unexpected. I would say I was actually kind of hesitant because like I said before, I would do like much I don't do well with cardio. I feel like I'm already very lean. So when it was like a faster pace, I was kind of unsure how that would work for me. But since I've actually been committed and able to work out like regularly, I've noticed that that's actually been really effective and like has helped me a lot. And I didn't realize how much the app had to offer for mobility, which I need because my knees and shoulders and ankles, it depends on the day. I just I just have terrible joints from lifting for so long. So things like that are really helpful. And sometimes I'll tell you and you're like, "Oh yeah, I have this in the app." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, of course you do," because that's so helpful for the stretching and mobility parts. So that's been an unexpected plus too.
So what I heard you say was one of the things you didn't realize about the app itself is like you came to join a strength program, but because the app has so many different programs in there, you found things valuable like the mobility program, the stretch program, and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's been helpful.
When I first started the app, I used to have people sign up for each program and you would only get access to one,
Mhm.
only have access to pump, or you would only have access to mobility. But it got to be too complicated. I'm like, look, you guys just have access to it all. I was like, and ultimately I wanted to be able to help people. And in
Mhm.
order to help people, I wanted to be able to have more resources available. So
Mhm.
that's kind of how that process has evolved. That way
Yeah,
it's all there.
great. That's really good.
I get that feedback off more often than I would like. So I need to figure out a better way to communicate how much is actually in there.
Mhm.
Because just like the Pump City, I mean, you don't even use the self-guided videos because it's not available in Pump City, but you probably haven't even seen how those other programs work and how there's like a video playing the whole time.
Oh, no, I haven't. Geez, that yeah, that app is like high end.
You should just for kicks, you ought to go into a self-guided workout and see how it works. Not that that style is what I want you to be following, but that's why it was originally designed. It's pretty sick.
Yeah, I'll have to take a look at that.
What is if you were to tell a friend about our program, what would you tell them?
I feel like I tell my sisters about it. Um, I think that what's so nice about it is that for people who have been working out, I feel like it is helpful for a wide range of people working out. So whether you're just beginning or you've worked out for a long time, because you can kind of set your own intensity for the workouts, but it's very helpful. Like I was telling my sister, because she has issues, not issues, she has issues working out. Like she doesn't stay, she has trouble staying motivated. She's always like, Nina, what do I do at the gym? What do I do at the gym? I've been trying to help her for years. I'm like, why just download this app? It will tell you like what to do. And now even with the self-guided, I'll have to tell her that because I think that it's very helpful for a wide range of like beginners to experts and everyone in between. I think that that's really helpful.
Yeah,
And
right.
that's what some people need. Like I don't know. I feel like people always come to me for workout advice and I'm like, I've been doing this for years, so what I can do and what I would tell you to do is much different, so
Yeah, I
that's
talk about that all the time. I'm like, the number one reason is you're not consistent, most
mhm,
people, and you're not because consistent because you don't have a plan to follow.
mhm,
You're not consistent because you don't have a plan to follow because nobody's holding you accountable to the plan.
right.
So, um, I think another thing that people don't realize is how much I do try to support, even though it's through an online platform. It's like I'm still there to help. And I have you felt that way?
Yeah. Yeah, you're always available, even if I just don't even understand the exercise or if I'm like, I don't know if this is I think at one point I'd asked you about doing strength instead of Pump City, so you have been, like, a really good resource in all those aspects.
Right on.
Right, and it is, like, being online is much different too.
Yeah,
'Cause
totally.
first I was so hesitant, when I was with my other coach. I was like, "No, I literally need someone there to be like, you can do 3 more reps. I was like, this isn't gonna work for me because I need someone like in my face telling me to keep going. But then you kind of just, with the help of you and you kind of just have to like switch your mindset. And once you get the mindset, then you're able to do much better.
Well, there's also something really powerful about taking ownership yourself too, you know?
Mhm.
Because
Yeah,
ultimately that's all that happened is you took ownership of it. And when people take ownership of things, they're gonna have a lot more success.
right. Yeah, once you're motivated and you see results and you're consistent and all the stars align, then it's just like the mindset and ownership comes with it to bump up the intensity.
Yeah. What's one way that I can continue to support you moving forward?
I think that, well, like I've said, you've done a really good job. I think just still being patient with my nonsense questions. It's been a transition because the one day I'm like, Nina, you cannot be this when you tell me what it is after I ask. I'm like, Nina, duh, that's what it is. But I think what I've done before has been more of it's been more like machines and stuff. Like a
Mm,
lot of workouts were with machines and leg press and
mm,
all things, and then your workouts are more, not CrossFit, but they're I don't know, what's the word for them? I keep using the word functional because I feel like that's what it is, where
mm.
you only need a few pieces of equipment. So the tech, the lingo is a little different for me. So
Okay.
that was a change for me, so that's been really helpful that I can, message you and ask those questions, and also, like I said, pointing me in the direction of, okay, well, here I have the mobility part and the stretching part. So just make sure like you're doing them to help. And I feel like it has been helpful because um doing those other parts of the apps that you've directed me to.
It's so interesting to hear and such a great perspective. Like if you were doing primary machines and then one day you log in and you're like, see a Turkish get up, you're like, what's a Turkish get up? And I'm like, oh boy. Did you follow, did you do that exercise?
Yeah, that was
You-
hard. I only do half of it.
Wow. Yeah,
Well,
that's such a great perspective that you were doing primarily machines and now I love machines, but this particular program doesn't utilize a lot of them.
yeah, and then you tell me what it is, and I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But my mindset before was so programmed to like front foot. If I was doing a front foot elevated split squat, that's what it said. Or it would just be like leg press, you know?
Mhm.
So I didn't ever have that lingo. And I was like, oh, I really have to like switch my mindset to the more like functional and CrossFit type of terminology.
Easy there.
I feel like that is like some of those exercises I think they utilize.
Yeah, I mean CrossFit these days, it's like if you do push-ups and then do calf raises, it's like you're doing CrossFit.
Yeah. Well, that's true. It's been a big transition. I'm like, I really just have to switch my mindset to think about the terminology.
How have you found like some of the videos, like when you haven't seen something that you're familiar with and you go to watch a video, has that been easy, helpful, complicated? How can I make
Oh
that better?
my gosh. Yes, I'm glad you said that because if I if your videos are uploaded from your YouTube, it's great. You're just like to the point, and like I do have some knowledge, so I'm like, okay, I can just watch do it. Or if I'm like still a little unsure, I can listen to you. But if I were to go, because a couple of times I've YouTubed different exercises that there wasn't a video attached, and the people talk for 10 minutes, and I'm like, can we just get to the exercise?
Yeah.
So videos are so helpful because it's just like quick to the point. This is what we're doing, and you show it first and then explain it, which is also helpful because if you just need like a refresher,
Yeah.
you can watch it first.
I
So
want you to be working out, not watching YouTube videos. So it's like,
exactly. But it's so helpful if because usually I'll like look at the workout before I go to the gym, or if I'm like walking on the treadmill first, I'll look at the videos and then like save them. So in the middle of the workout, if I'm like, oh yeah, what was that again? And I click on it, it's like just like a good refresher and to the point. So I love that.
Right on. Well, I got a boogie for my training session, but I'm
Okay.
glad we got to chat, and thanks for sharing your experience this far and making the time for this video.
Yeah, no problem, Kev. I'm gonna go work out too.
Let's get it.
All right.
All right,
Thank,
peace. I'll talk to you later.
all right, see ya.
Later.